Welcome back to Los Angeles. Cool, 67 degrees, cloudy, and a great night for Game 6 of this World Series. Let's now send it upstairs to the public address announcer here. It's Todd Lights. Take it away.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise and kindly remove your hats for our nation's colors. Presented tonight by a joint color guard made up of the 5 branches of our United States Armed Forces. Ladies and gentlemen, this evening the Los Angeles Dodgers, the Houston Astros, and all of Major League Baseball unite to remember the lives taken in today's senseless tragedy in New York City. We send our thoughts and prayers to the victims and their families. Please join us in a moment of silence. Thank you. Now, fans, we ask that you please remain standing and join in the singing of our national anthem, accompanied by organist Dieter Rule. Please welcome Officer Roz Curry, Los Angeles Police Department Employee Assistance Unit.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets rang loud, the bombs bursting in air gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the
It is Game 6 of the World Series from Dodger Stadium. Joe Buck and John Smoltz on the call when we return on Fox.
for Game 6 of this 2017 World Series. With the Houston Astros up 3-2 over the Los Angeles Dodgers. And now welcome inside the broadcast booth, everybody. I'm Joe Buck. The Hall of Famer John Smoltz is coming right up. How great has this World Series been? How much fun have we had? I mean, we're coming off Game 5 alone. 5 hours, 17 minutes, 10 innings, 7 home runs, 3 game-tying home runs for the first time in World Series history by the Astros. I mean, it's just been crazy. So many ebbs and flows, and every time you think you figured it out, it just goes the other way. So we don't know anything. But I'll bring in the Hall of Famer anyway. Here's what we do know, my friend. The starting pitchers for tonight's game. We'll start with Justin Verlander. If you had told Verlander and the Astros when they made that deal with Detroit that they'd be able to hand him the ball on a night like this to maybe clinch a World Series, man, would they have taken it?
They would have taken it. He would have taken it. Justin Verlander has done just about everything in his career. He's got awards, and his resume is full. But the two things he doesn't have, a World Series win and a World Series ring. Tonight could go a long way to adding that to a Hall of Fame type career. And you know what? A.J. Hinch would love another dominant performance. He hasn't lost, and they're pinning their hopes on Justin Verlander.
Now on the other side, Rich Hill got the ball in Game 2. He was opposed by Verlander. Hill pitched very well, but he only threw 60 pitches. He was effective while he was out there. A little fatigue in that Dodger bullpen. I have a feeling we'll see Hill, if he's effective, for a longer stint here tonight.
Yeah, these are crazy games when you have elimination games, so everybody's going to be available. But Rich Hill, only those 4 innings, he was pretty good, and he gets better as the game goes on. So for the Dodgers to turn the trick of winning 2 games, it starts with Rich Hill. You see the numbers on his first time, and I think he's prepared to go 6 or 7, especially if he has the lead.
All right, you've got one team facing elimination, the Dodgers. You've got another team that's kind of acting like they're facing elimination in the Houston Astros. They're going for it here tonight.
Yeah, they have to. Look, there's some pieces in the pen that haven't worked the way they would in the regular season. So A.J. Hinch is going to pin his hopes on this is it. And why not? You do have a game to play with. If the score gets out of hand, he'll manage it differently. But he's not going to take any chances. He's going for the win tonight.
We can't wait to see what unfolds in front of our eyes on this cool evening in Los Angeles. It's Game 6 tonight on Fox.
When I was 16, I discovered I can do this.
Wow.
Baby, I like it raw. Yeah, baby.
Okay, so that means all of you are competing for the alpha spot. You too, Jamal.
Well, I'm already on Mega Boost, so I'm good.
We passed that. Everybody's competing.
Y'all tripping.
I want your passion, your pain.
Shimmy, shimmy, y'all, shimmy, yeah, shimmy, yeah. Give me the mic so I can take it away. Off on the natural charge, bon voyage. Yeah, from the home of the Dodger Brooklyn squad.
Lancer, Mike, this is Comanche Red 1. We have received fire. Route Delta, just south of the Solder Bureau. Over.
Red 1, Comanche 6. What type of fire? Over.
Comanche 6, unclear. Over.
Wu-Tang killer hubby's on the swarm. Rain on your college disco dorm. For you to even touch my skill, you gotta go to one killer bee anyway. Baby, I like it raw. Yeah, baby, I like it raw.
Here's Dobbins running left this time with a huge opening down the sideline. Puts on the afterburner, stiff arm, see you later. Touchdown, Ohio State.
Oh, baby, I like it raw. Yeah, baby, I like it raw. Oh, baby, I like it raw.
And so now welcome to Game 6 of the 2017 World Series. Rich Hill is set to go, so is Jose Altuve. We are in the right city for the kind of series we've been watching here.
The 2017 World Series, a screenplay unbelievable, even by the standards of Hollywood. Filled with plot twists, ever-changing storylines, plenty of cliffhangers. And just when you think you have your ending, Here comes another rewrite. For one of these teams, the final script will be considered a tragedy. For the other, a true Hollywood ending. Will a champion be crowned, or will we play another day? It's Game 6 of the World Series.
Glad you're with us tonight. You see how the temperature has changed. The ball will not fly like it did in games 1 and 2 on a 67-degree night for Game 6. They're packed in here at Dodger Stadium, and down on the field, we check in first with Tom Verducci.
Thanks, Joe. One win from their first World Championship. The Astros give the ball to a man looking for his first ring. And a man with a big game pedigree. 230 innings deep into this season. Justin Verlander is throwing harder now than he did in the regular season. In Game 2, he threw 67% fastballs, the most in 2 years. The Astros love the matchup of his high fastball against this Dodger lineup. Now, it's been a crazy World Series. 50 pitchers, 13 ties, 9 blown leads. But tonight, baseball gets as simple as it ever gets. A pitcher trying to throw his best fastball past the hitters. Now here's Ken Rosenthal.
Tom, after Game 5, Yasiel Puig said, "This isn't finished. There will be a Game 7. Kenley Jansen was even more emphatic this afternoon, telling me, if we win tonight, we don't think they have a shot against us tomorrow. So, how do the Dodgers get to tomorrow? Alex Wood will be available in the bullpen tonight, and so will Clayton Kershaw, who actually wanted to start this game on 1 day's rest. Dave Roberts quickly nixed that idea, and while he won't rule anything out, he would prefer to avoid using Kershaw tonight, knowing the Dodgers need to win 2 games. Joe?
All right, guys, thank you very much. Here's the lineup for the Houston Astros. No surprises. It's brought to you by State Farm. They lead it off with George Springer. He's in center. Alex Bregman bats second and third, and then Jose Altuve with his 7 postseason home runs hits third. In the middle, it's Carlos Correa, Yuli Gurriel, and Brian McCann. And the back end of the lineup, Marwin Gonzalez, Josh Reddick, and Justin Verlander gets to swing the bat tonight, or at least try to drop one down, which he did in Game 2. Here's Rich Hill. And he's been a hot starter for the Dodgers of late. There are his numbers during the postseason. No record, but the team's 2-1 in his 3 previous starts.
Well, he definitely is going to have his fastball command. He started off the World Series a little erratic early, settled in, but wasn't able to pitch past the 4th.
We saw a lot of misses up in that first inning in Game 2 from Rich Hill.
Yeah, he's a guy that as the game goes on, he actually gets much better, and especially past the 6th inning.
91, a little harder tonight from Hill.
He's got that unique finish you'll watch today. I mentioned it the last time he pitched. Looks like he kicks a field goal on the end of his delivery. But once he establishes the height of his fastball, watch how many curveballs he throws off of it.
Chop to the right side, foul, strike 2. With that, we will give you our Ford keys to the game.
Well, it's simple for Houston. We already talked about it, and I think the biggest thing they've got to do is this is their Game 7. And it's hard to imagine A.J. Hinch in the position he's going to be in to make some of those decisions, and the Dodgers really have to get a lead early. I know it sounds simplistic, but do whatever you can to get Justin Verlander out of the game and start working on their pen.
1-2 from Hill. Struck him out. Home plate umpire is Dan Iasonia. He rung up George Springer. Mark Wegner at first base. Paul Nauert at second base. The crew chief, Jerry Davis. Laz Diaz in left. And Bill Miller is down the right field line. Replay official is Phil Cuzzi back in New York. And Mr. 1 RBI a game during the World Series, the 23-year-old Alex Bregman digs in.
Yeah, he was going to have the most at-bats against lefties.
Strike 1.
Where he benefits more in the lineup against left-handed pitchers than really most of their teammates that he has, and he's delivered, as you mentioned, in the first 5 games, an RBI each game.
So with that, he became the second player to drive in 1 run in 5 straight, his first 5 straight World Series games, and he's on with 1 out here in the first. He's become a hitting machine, and he has proven that he is not scared of the big stage.
You know, he's had the best at bats throughout. Even his outs have been productive and good, and he's a confident guy. He looks at this curveball and sees it up, gets the barrel of the bat to it, and gets the Astros going. This will be the interesting matchup for me, the next 2 guys. Hill has had success against Altuve, and he's had success at Correa's expense taking a lot of pitches.
So here is Altuve, who hit the big home run off Kenta Maeda to tie the ball game after Clayton Kershaw was knocked out in the 5th inning. It followed 2 walks. Altuve dealt with Maeda and planted one into left center field to make the ball game 7-7. Check on Bregman. The Astros have not done much running at all in this World Series. They have 1 steal, 1 for 1. That's it.
Running in general has been down, and you don't see very much of it.
Austin Barnes gets summoned out to the midpoint between the mound and the plate by Rich Hill.
So the history between Altuve and Hill. Hill has challenged him a lot with a lot of fastballs. You see the numbers right there. Uncharacteristically 5 strikeouts, and a lot of those have come on fastballs up in the zone.
1 hit, a home run. Strike 1. Altuve has 1 of his 7 postseason home runs this postseason away from Houston, and that came here in Game 2. Strike 2.
That's what he likes to do. He likes to get the fastball up, and Altuve has swung at him. His only hit is a homer off of a curveball, so that 1 for 7 had some damage behind it.
Bregman with a 1-out hit. He's at first. 0-2. Struck him out. 2 away.
It's going to be very difficult for the Astros to hit his curveball, so they can't miss the fastball. There's the first one that he throws right down the middle. Comes in with a curveball, swing and miss. Goes back outside with a fastball that's fouled off. And then his trademark pitch, a curveball. And the spike curveball, and he just absolutely creates such tilt and such spin that starts up, breaks down, crisp.
The batter is Carlos Correa. Big numbers for Correa, but 1 for 8 against left-handed pitching in this World Series. Strike 1. And that caught Austin Barnes. Rich Hill is 37 years old. Made his major league debut in 2005. As you watch the foul tip catch Austin Barnes. And Rich Hill has been with Baltimore, Boston, Cleveland, the Angels, the Yankees, back to Boston. He grew up in Boston, to Oakland, and was traded here at the deadline last year.
Well, their matchups, 24 pitches were taken by Correa. He does not want to hit the breaking ball until he has to. He will take a lot of them. That's why you saw the aggressive swing on the fastball on the first pitch.
Look at the stops along the way for Rich Hill. The 0-1. Hard hit. There's Turner. Game 6. Dodgers coming up, no score. Tonight's telecast is sponsored by the 2018 Ford F-150. It doesn't just raise the bar, it is the bar. And by Bright House Financial, established by MetLife. We'll give you the Dodgers lineup as Chris Taylor walks to the plate. Brought to you by State Farm. It's Chris Taylor, then Corey Seager, then Justin Turner. Typical look for the Dodgers with Cody Bellinger, Yasiel Puig, and Jock Peterson, who's dialed in this postseason, at least here toward the end. And now the back end of the lineup, Logan Forsythe, Austin Barnes, and Rich Hill pitching and batting ninth against the right-hander who has set an incredible standard in his time with the Houston Astros, Justin Verlander.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. He has dominated the postseason with his fastball. A lot of foul balls the first time he faced the Dodgers. Will the Dodgers make the adjustment, and will Justin Verlander bring his slider more into play the second time around?
Chris Taylor goes after the first pitch and pops it up into right center, slicing to Reddick. One pitch, one out. So you know Reddick is out in right. How about the rest of the group? To his right, it's George Springer in center and Marwin Gonzalez in left. Around the infield, it's Alex Bregman, Carlos Correa, Jose Altuve, and Yuli Gurriel. Brian McCann does the catching, and the batter against Justin Verlander now will be Corey Seager.
And he normally loves the first pitch. And we'll see if we get two pitches and two action.
Prior to this plate appearance, 14 times in his 22 plate appearances, he'd gone after the first pitch. Left side of the infield is wide open. Bregman way off the line like a shortstop, almost shaded up the middle. Seager, power hitting shortstop, tied up on a pitch down and in, strike two.
And there's the slider. So the Dodgers have a dilemma. You're not going to wear out Justin Verlander, so you might as well be aggressive. The thought would be get his pitch count up normally and get into the pen. Well, there's going to be no more action for Justin Verlander for the most part. He's in there until he can't get the job done anymore.
He does have one complete game this postseason. That came against the Yankees in Game 2. He's 4-0 this postseason, 9-0 as a Houston Astro, and through 4 previous World Series starts, he's gone 0-3. As a rookie in 2006 against St. Louis, he was 0-2. Went 0-1 against San Francisco in 2012. And no decision here in game 2. The 1-2 to Seager. Able to lay off that pitch. 2-2.
Seager, as aggressive as he is early, he has really been a tough out when he gets 2 strikes. We saw the home run he hit off of Verlander in the 6th inning on a fastball away. Different conditions tonight. That would be much more difficult to do.
Got him on the inside corner. 2 out. It'll bring in Justin Turner, and I think we should talk about where the Astros stand here with their bullpen. They have so many question marks in their pen. Their closer, Ken Giles, has been put on the shelf, at least in that role. Who knows if we'll see him again in 1, maybe 2 games here in Los Angeles. The guy who likely will back up Justin Verlander tonight is A.J. Hinch's listed starting pitcher for tomorrow, Lance McCullers Jr.
Yeah, it's a little bit of the roll of the dice, but you can understand why he would be in that position. Now, the toughest decision I think A.J. is going to have to make is when to pinch hit for Verlander.
Turner pops it up, and that is a quick and easy first inning for Verlander. Through 7 pitches, struck out Seager along the way, and after 1 on Halloween, no score. Second inning rolls in, no score. The Astros got a 1-out hit by Alex Bregman, and the booing for Utley Gurriel. The gesture he made in the direction of Yu Darvish after the home run in game 3. By the way, Yu Darvish would get the ball as it stands right now in a game 7 if there is one. Yu Darvish could not have handled that situation better. Gurriel suspended for 5 games to start next season, but did not have to suffer a suspension here in the World Series. Here's a 1-0 from Rich Hill. Ken Rosenthal, I know you have more on the situation.
Yuli Gurriel offered to personally apologize to Yu Darvish, but Darvish basically sent word back saying it won't be necessary. And it's so interesting, Joe, you mentioned how well he handled it. It was Darvish's worst start, and yet he never stood taller.
Good point. Breaking ball in for a strike, and it's 1-2 on Gurriel.
That's the hardest pitch to hit because it looks like a ball the entire way out of his hand, and the late movement catches the strike zone.
Gurriel checked his swing.
And a great pitch after a high curveball, you go with a high fastball. The general rule in pitching is if you have a high fastball, a swing and a miss, or a foul ball, follow it up with a curveball. If you have a low fastball, follow it up with a slider because they're on the same plane, and that's what the hitter's looking at. He recognizes the last pitch location-wise.
Popped up behind the plate. Barnes has room. Bellinger comes in. 1 out. Before tonight's game, a couple of legends here for the Dodgers came out for the ceremonial first pitch. The great Tommy Lasorda and the 1988 World Series MVP Orel Hershiser, who, and every time Tommy needed Orel Hershiser, he said yes.
Yeah.
McCann takes a strike.
Quite a run Hershiser went on, and obviously those Dodgers went on to win the World Series. They're hoping they have some of that magic left to win 2 more games.
Brian McCann fouls it back here, strike 2.
I actually think it's a little easier for left-handers to follow Hill's curveball, even though he gets a lot of swings and misses on it, than a right-hander at times.
McCann flies one out to left. Peterson back to grab it. 2 out. Well, you look at the numbers for Orel Hershiser in 1988 for the postseason. 3-0, 1 save, an ERA just over 1, 3 complete games, 2 shutouts, and the NLCS and World Series MVP.
I could see why. Started it and finished it. Wow. No such thing anymore, really.
Little different around here these days.
A little different.
For the Dodgers, they have a tremendous bullpen. Their pitching staff is weighted down there with really tremendous arms as Marwin Gonzalez takes the ball up and away. But as we said in the open, there's some fatigue down there.
And rightfully so. When things don't go according to plan and you stretched out a little bit more than you anticipated, the cumulative effect comes into play.
Hill throwing well. 1 ball, 1 strike on Gonzalez.
Now, this series would be different. The Astros are 1 for 23 on an 0-2 count, but that one was this man's home run off of Jansen.
To tie the game in the 9th inning in game 2. That's strike 2. Gonzalez not in on the fun 2 nights ago in Houston. It was some game and a lot of fun, but he is 0 for his last 10. What a pick by Turner. 0 for his last 11. And Rich Hill is matched up with Justin Verlander tonight. Scoreless through 2 with Bellinger, then this man Puig, then Peterson coming up. No score. Tonight's telecast is sponsored by YouTube TV. Cable-free live TV is here. So is the bottom of the second, and so is Cody Bellinger. Game number 2, and this is a rematch of it. Somehow finished 7-6 in 11 innings. Nobody could have predicted that.
Somehow is right.
A game that featured 8 home runs. And the first of 2 extra inning games. After game 2, we went to Houston. Now after game 5, a 10-inning game. Final of 13-12 Houston. We're back in LA on a cool night. First pitch, a strike, and now another on a foul, straight back, strike 2.
So lesson to all the young, dynamic, great arms that are coming in the game and wanting to pitch in the big leagues for a while. If you have velocity, that's great. But if you have velocity and command, you're looking at it. Justin Verlander, the combination of both, the ability to pitch deep in the game.
Bellinger has had success. Did so down in Houston by serving the ball the other way. That kind of got him going, and hit a home run just over the wall into right center field in that crazy game 2 nights ago. Had a 4 RBI night. The 0-2 straightens him up. 97 from Verlander. You see how it has switched, and it switched once he attacked BP differently and then took that opposite field mentality into the game. That started in game 4. Here's a 1-2.
Getting a hit sometimes can change the computer, the mind. Getting a hit was crucial because he was going in the wrong direction, swinging wild, missing a lot of pitches. And you see what he's done differently since getting a hit in Houston.
Struck him out. Second strikeout for Verlander. The leadoff man is gone for the Dodgers here in the second.
Well, he went upstairs and he went downstairs, inside, and the fastball still has good life. It's been great all postseason. It's been great ever since he's been with the Houston Astros. Controlled aggression and controlled adrenaline for Justin Verlander here, and an opportunity to close it out.
With 1 out, Puig takes a strike. Yasiel has done the majority of his damage in the postseason here at home at Dodger Stadium. He's hitting just under 400. But he hasn't faced many like Verlander. That's upstairs, a ball and a strike. And there are the numbers this postseason, so it has followed suit.
Verlander, a couple times in the last couple of years, struggled with mechanics. The timing of his hand, you see when he's got the glove, he's got the classic windup, leg kick, long arms. Everything has been in sync the last 2 months.
In the air to center, Springer is going to play it on a hop. Didn't get a great break on it. And the Dodgers have their first hit of the night. It belongs to Puig.
One of the hardest plays for center fielders is the ball straight at him. You see where he broke, and that's all it took to not have that closing speed. Such a good athlete, Springer. If the ball's to the right or to the left, you can read it a little bit better. At least that's the great Andrew Jones learning from him and standing out there and shagging. That ball straight on to Springer. Didn't quite get the perfect read.
And now Jock Peterson, who took Verlander deep in the 5th inning in game 2. It was not the fastball, a breaking ball that he hit out. He hadn't homered since the end of July. Until that home run in Game 2 off Verlander. Spent some time in the minor leagues. He was an all-star 2 years ago. Ended up hitting 11 home runs for the season. But he looks like a different hitter.
Yeah, for whatever reason, maybe more selfish in the regular season in his approach, meaning no matter what the count is, I'm trying to hit the ball out of the stadium. He's actually tracked the ball about as good as any guy in the lineup for the Dodgers. He's a different hitter now.
Here's the home run from Game 2.
Yeah, slider, a bad one. The only bad one from Verlander, really.
Peterson with a 9th inning 3-run home run in game number 4 in Houston. In the hole here, 1 and 2.
You know, I told the story about him learning how to play the game pepper during the last year and a half. And the first couple times he did it, no one was safe in the stadium. He was hitting line drives. He didn't understand, and he started working on back control and how to hit the ball to 5 different areas that people were standing to, and trying very difficult processing in the middle of a season to start getting the bat on the ball a little bit more often. When you play pepper, there's a lot of tools used for a pitcher and footwork, but you're basically soft tossing the ball in there, and then it's the batter's job to hit the ball back to the, let's just say, an infielder standing about 20 feet away, in order of where they're standing, right to left, then left to right. It's teaching you how to have command of the bat, something he did not.
He's set up here at 1 and 2. No! He checked it, 2 and 2.
And I'm just telling you, you know, when you watch scouting reports and videos, he swings to that pitch about 80% of the time. So that's the kind of recognition he has right now. Even though he wanted to swing, he held his bat back. His body was trying to go in one direction. Just a little bit closer to the plate for Justin on that pitch, and you'll get a different result out of Jock Peterson.
Now a meeting on the mound.
Correa is going to come in, make sure if they're going to change anything, let him know. He's kind of the captain out there. He'll let the rest of his infielders know if the signs have changed. This has been going on all series and really all postseason, and the ability for teams to try and figure out a way to decode the signs they're giving.
Correa, the shortstop, on the other side of the bag. Bregman, the only infielder on the left side. Time called before the pitch, and granted by home plate umpire Dan Iasonia.
And that was a little bit late, but Justin went ahead and threw the pitch. Looked like a changeup that he had. Those are always the things you do. All right, does he come back with another one?
Spoiled it.
He did come back with another one.
A new baseball for Justin Verlander. Chevrolet is the official vehicle of Major League Baseball and the only brand to earn J.D. Power Dependability Awards for cars, trucks, and SUVs 2 years in a row.
Justin, much of the opportunity to go through a lineup the first time. You try not to show the hitters a lot of different ways you're going to get them out. He hasn't broke out the curveball yet. Sliders in, a few changeups, and that good fastball we've seen all postseason.
Another 2-2 pitch. Got him looking 2 out.
And there's the curveball. You try to have things in your back pocket, but when the guy is on your pitches and he makes a couple good takes and he takes some pitches foul, that change of speed and the breaking ball was perfectly timed. And there you see the rotation. There you see where it starts. Signature pitch for Justin Verlander.
Hard to believe Verlander, as Logan Forsythe digs in, through the end of July was 5-7 with an ERA of 4.5. With Detroit 14-1 since. And since the 20th of August, 11-0 with an ERA of just over 1.5. Forsythe takes a strike.
Well, and just talking with him and knowing what pitchers go through the season. He was struggling with mechanics. Maybe some teams like Cleveland had his pitches maybe tipping a little bit. You go through and you look at all the checks and balances, and then once it clicks, keep it as long as you possibly can. He has perfect timing.
And those numbers since the 20th of August, including this postseason: 98 strikeouts to 17 walks. The ERA, the opponent's average, 11-0. Up and away, a ball and a strike on Forsythe. Again, it's 2-1.
You know, we mentioned Justin trying to get his first World Series win, but whenever you're in an opportunity to close a team out, that particular game should be the longest game you ever pitch, and should be the most fatiguing mentally, because there are so many things that you want to stay locked in on, and of course you never want to give up the lead, so you're working so much harder than you would in a regular season start.
In for strike 2. And Verlander knows the situation down in the bullpen. I mean, if you know Justin at all, and we've gotten to know him over the years, he's out there with 9 innings on his mind.
Absolutely. But he's had that mindset throughout his whole career. See, he hasn't started his career in the kind of essence of where we are today philosophically. So that's always been on his mind.
I think we've talked about this every start he's made that we've had, that he was kind of the first starter in this last wave of pitchers who would save that higher velocity for the late innings. And just when you think he's tiring out, he's rushed one up there at 97, 98. As Forsythe fouls it away. In 2011, Verlander was 24-5 with an ERA of 2.4. The Cy Young Award winner and the MVP.
But Joe, I think more guys could do that today. They're gifted beyond belief. They've got that arsenal. They just don't know how to do it and trust it, because they're taught from clubs, throw everything you have as much as you can and we will take care of the rest. There's no more thought of saving a little here or there.
Fly ball into right. Reddick is there, and that sends Game 6 into the 3rd inning. Astros will have Reddick, then Verlander, then Springer. No score. Hey, T-Mobile is now donating over $2.4 million to home runs for hurricane recovery. Fans, you just keep doing your part. T-Mobile will keep donating. Tweet or retweet hashtag HR4HR. And another $2 will be donated every single time. Hill back to work. Josh Reddick took a strike. Verlander on deck, and then back to the top of the order, Springer. Big looping breaking ball is flipped into shallow left center and caught by Taylor, who waved off Seager or yelled at him enough to get him away. 1 out.
Pitcher number 35, Justin Verlander.
Hope he was screaming, because that would have been like hitting a brick wall for Taylor. Such a big guy. And Seager.
I mean, Chris Taylor, as Verlander swings through at strike one, Chris Taylor was an infielder and had never played outfield as a professional until this spring training. They put him out there, and he's taken over center field.
Yeah, he's done an amazing job. He's done an amazing job just kind of changing his career at the plate. Huge hits for the Dodgers this year, and a lot of power to go with it.
Verlander had a hit this year during interleague play. He is out of the way in his mind of a strike, and it's 1-2. Hill, breaking ball struck him out, and for Rich Hill, strikeout number 3.
During the regular season, at least in our time frame, you would throw 3 fastballs to the opposing pitcher, knowing you were going to get 3 and 3 back. If anyone broke that code, it was on. Then it's strikeout city. You just go to you don't do that in the playoffs, though. A little disclaimer.
Here's Springer. He's had a good World Series, George Springer. 7 for 22 now after he struck out his first time, but 3 home runs and 4 RBIs out of that top spot in the lineup. Fly ball into right. Back is Puig at the wall. It is gone. Home run number 4. And Springer has made it 1-0 Astros here in the 3rd.
In these conditions, that was a bomb. I mean, it is hard to go to right field the way he did, and he sat back. He knew it as soon as he hit it.
Ties Lenny Dykstra from 1993 for the most home runs from the leadoff spot in the World Series. Now Bregman hits it hard, kicked by Seager, and got it. Able to recover. And A.J. Hinch says, hold on. We're going to make sure he was out. See when it hits the back of the glove now. And he looks to be out. The Astros agree. But they also strike first with a home run by George Springer into right. Bottom of the 3rd inning rolls in. 1-0 Houston in Game 6. 1-0 Houston on the strength of the home run by George Springer. What a World Series he's had. Fastball poured in for a strike from Verlander. Underway in the bottom of the 3rd inning. Austin Barnes, then Rich Hill, then Chris Taylor. Barnes 3 for 16 in this World Series. In the hole, 0-2.
8 for 8, Verlander. First pitch strikes, and he hasn't deviated from his fastball command and his fastball effectiveness. You would think the Dodgers, getting a chance to see him the second time, might make some adjustments on the fastballs.
Here's the 0-2. Ball. 3 straight fastballs. The count 1-2 on Barnes. Just 3 for 24 against right-handed pitching this postseason. Waits for a 1-2. Fouls it away.
Similar to the last time that Hill and Verlander. Homer by Bregman. Early lead for Verlander. And then Peterson tied it up.
One-two. Right at Altuve. Leadoff man is gone. With Rich Hill coming up, we'll show you the home run he just gave up. StatCast powered by Amazon Web Services. And when that ball left the park, they were going crazy. Down in Houston, those great fans are packed into Minute Maid Park. Look at that.
That's unbelievable. And just as unbelievable as that home run, but not where it went. Equal distribution for Springer. 16 of his homers to left, 11 to center, and 12 to right. That's how you lead off and change the leadoff spot with power.
39 home runs all in for George Springer this season, including the postseason. Here's a bunt try by Hill. Come back, Rich. George Lombard, the first base coach, says catch your breath, walk back to the plate. He didn't know this was foul. He went a long way.
I like it. Whatever it takes. You know you're limited, obviously, as a pitcher, and whatever you can do. It's the playoffs. Playoffs.
One out, nobody on. Here's the 0-2. Shortened up and just slapping at it. Still 0-2 with Chris Taylor on deck.
Trying to get to Altuve's height.
Crouched down, just right on top of the plate. Well, let's say this for Rich. He is not conceding this at bat.
No, he's trying to make Justin, you know, if he could squeeze out 4 extra pitches to get him out, it's kind of a win.
He foul tips it into the glove of McCann, and that's strikeout number 4 for Verlander. 2 out.
Number 3.
This has been a World Series, especially those games in Houston, where when the Dodgers did something, the Astros answered. Dodgers did something, Astros answered. Then it flipped, and the Astros did something, and the Dodgers had to answer, but they did. We'll see what Chris Taylor does here after the 2-out home run by George Springer in the top of this 3rd inning.
Yeah, and for those who don't follow baseball on a regular basis, that is not normal. That just does not happen. Many pieces, many pitchers tried to find a way to stop it, and they just couldn't.
So 2 out, strike 1. Taylor with the 1 home run in this World Series, and that came on the first pitch he saw from Dallas Keuchel in Game 1. Hard. Strike 2. Got him looking. Strikeout number 5. Altuve, Correa. Gurriel coming up for the Astros, leading by 1. Into the 4th we go. Tonight's telecast is sponsored by T-Mobile. This postseason, there's a new leader in network, T-Mobile, America's best unlimited network. And by Geico, 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. Earlier tonight, Garnett King Jr., a member of the Boys and Girls Clubs of Metro Los Angeles Challengers Clubhouse, delivered the game ball to Dodgers legend Ron Cey. Boys and Girls Clubs alumni Hall of Famer and Tony and Emmy winner Courtney B. Vance. To learn more about Boys and Girls Clubs, go to bgca.org. Grounder foul off the bat of Altuve, and the count 1 ball 1 strike. Underway in the 4th inning as the Dodgers now have allowed at least 1 home run in all 14 games this postseason. A 2-out shot by Springer into right as Houston up by 1.
I know I'm not supposed to be surprised by that, but that is surprising.
Pull outside. That somebody on a night like this, we had rain, it's in the mid-60s, heavy air, could shoot one out the other way.
Yeah, just the fact that they've given one up every postseason game.
Oh,
that is amazing.
Here's a 2-1. Altuve went after one out of the strike zone, 2-2. Altuve struck out his first time. This time he grounds to Seager. Tough play. He got him. And we'll see if the Astros want to look at that.
Man, can he get down the line for his size and the power, speed? This is closer than it should have been. Wow.
Just got him by less than half a step. 5-6 and flying. Rich Hill, who was just busting it down the line in the bottom of the third inning. Pens one in there for a strike to Correa.
StatCast had Rich Hill at 24 steps and Altuve at 48 steps. I'm just making that up.
Can't lie to a national audience. I mean, not that that doesn't happen on TV every day, but here's the 0-1. Strike two. How about the hot zone for Carlos Correa?
You want to go down below the zone, get him chasing, and certainly there's two spots to where you might be able to get the high fastball inside or outside, but don't leave it fat over the middle.
0-2. High fly ball into left center. Taylor to his right. 2 out. And Correa 0 for 2.
Number 10, Yuli Gurriel.
And the batter is Gurriel.
I would think he'd be real aggressive here on a first pitch fastball. It's amazing his splits on the ear, hitting off of left-handers versus right-handers. So much better against right-handed pitching.
That's foul. Rich Hill had a night August 23rd at Pittsburgh this year. Through 8 perfect innings, an error by Logan Forsythe in the 9th inning ended the perfect game bid. Went 9 hitless innings and lost the no-hitter and the game on a home run by Josh Harrison. A home run in the 10th. 1-0 final. Rain coming down here at Dodger Stadium. Just a light mist. Off the end of the back, strike 2. That's the first time since Pedro Martinez in 1995. Right-hander who actually came up in the Dodger organization to take a no-hitter into extra innings.
You just can't say anything to a teammate when that happens. You just got to kind of give them 24 hours.
Here's the 0-2 quick pitch, and it's down and away. 1-2. Gurriel popped up to the right side his first time. The Dodgers in the bottom of this inning will have their big bats: Seager, Turner, and Bellinger. The 1-2. Into right. Puig is coming into his left, and that'll do it for 3.5. And Rich Hill pitching very well, but matched up against Justin Verlander tonight. Turner will bat second. In the bottom of the 4th, 1-0. Astros on top. Welcome back to the World Series presented by YouTube TV. Cable-free live TV is here. And so is Corey Seager, and strike one on a foul out of play left side. Seager, Turner, and Bellinger, three guys who can even this game, as the Dodgers tonight try to even this series with the rain coming down ever so gently at Dodger Stadium.
Well, both pitchers have been on their game. They've retired together all the 7 leadoff men. 19 of the 24 first pitch strikes. Verlander's 11 for 11. And 9 0-2 counts between Hill and Verlander here in the fourth.
Restoring some order to this series as Seager fouls it back on a 96-mile-an-hour delivery, strike two. Game 5 was crazy. Bullpens were basically emptied. Benches were emptied in a good way. No fighting. 13-12 was the final. In 10. Tonight 1-0. Houston leading. Bottom of the fourth. 1-2 to Seager. Inside. Just inside. 2-2. Easy to Gonzalez in left. Seager 0 for 2 in this game, 5 for 22 in this World Series. Ashton and Mila are here. Vin and Sandy Scully, 67 seasons as the voice of the Dodgers. The great Magic Johnson, member of the ownership group here with the Dodgers. There's another Sandy, the great Sandy Koufax. 4 titles with the Dodgers. The fiance of Justin Verlander, Kate Upton. John Hamm with a Cardinal hat on. Of course, Hamm has a Cardinal hat on. And with 1 out, Turner takes a strike.
The Astros have done an unbelievable job against Justin Turner. And you see where he stands at the World Series. They have pitched him tough, and they had to have success against this Dodger lineup.
Hit .322 during the regular season. A ball and a strike. By the way, A.J. Hinch told us coming into this series, our profile and our security have increased since the trade for Verlander with the fiance to be named later, Kate Upton. Once she showed up, their profile went up. Not just on social media, but as a team in the American League. And you've talked about it. That trade told this Astros club, the front office believes in you, ownership believes in you, and let's go try and win this thing.
They're in a great spot, and they became a legitimate threat once that move was made. You could feel it throughout the whole clubhouse. They're in position. So with 2 strikes, you talked about some of the numbers in that previous game. So there were a total of 13 2-strike hits combined in the first 4 games of the World Series. Game 5 had 15 2-strike hits. That's how crazy that was. 10 for the Dodgers, 5 for the Astros. Unbelievable.
Another 1-2. No! Turner checked it. On a pitch just down and away. 2-2.
Great slider here, and I don't know how he held up, but it looks like he did. And a great job by Turner. 2 strikes, he will go the other way. He's always looking to pull, but with 2 strikes, he's fighting off the pitches and trying to go the other way.
2-2. Struck him out on a pitch down and away, and that is 6 strikeouts for Verlander through 3 2/3.
Much better slider this time around. The conditions are different. He pitched in a much firmer, or I should say warmer temperatures. Fastball command's been great. 4-seam slider coming out of his hand. Slow-mo doesn't do it justice. When those seams are coming together and make a dot, that's bad news for the hitter.
Verlander now up to 4th place on the all-time postseason strikeout list.
Ball inside.
And again, when you think about the greats of all time, more opportunity now with more rounds in the postseason. There's that guy to my right on the top of the list, irked that he was one shy of 200.
Somebody's got to say something while I'm playing.
There's a 1-0. Bellinger takes a strike. I mean, what would you have tried harder?
Yeah, to pick on a pitcher.
There you go, Atlanta. That's why you only won one. Here's a 1-1 with 2 out. Big swing by Bellinger, strike 2.
Bellinger trying to tie it up here with 2 outs. Fastball inside. Little tail. You see, you got the bottom half of the ball.
Struck him out over the inside part. Back-to-back strikeouts. 7 on the night for the 34-year-old right-hander who is dealing again. 1-0 Astros after 4. Back after this from your local Fox station. Well, Rich Hill gets to work into the 5th inning. Ryan McCann hits one into right field. Puig can't get there, but he cuts it off and holds McCann to a single. McCann takes Rich Hill into right, and the leadoff man is on for the Astros here in the 5th inning as they lead 1-0.
Well, the reason that's big in this part of the lineup, you want to clear the deck for Verlander, meaning you got to get him up this inning. So a base hit and no double play would mean that Verlander bats, and then you got the top of the order to start clean if nothing else happens.
Reddick on deck right now. It's Marwin Gonzalez at the plate. Grounded out to third his first time. Hit the ball hard, but right at Turner, who is rather close to the bag. Breaking ball for a strike.
The problem for the Dodgers here and Dave Roberts is he doesn't have the luxury of letting Rich Hill get in and out of too much trouble this point forward. So that's the pressure that Hill has, because Verlander has shown no signs right now of wiltering, or at least being human, because his fastball command and dominance has been quite obvious to this point.
A 1 pitch, breaking ball hit fair past third. Down the line by Gonzalez. McCann will dig for third. That's as far as he can go on a double by Marwin Gonzalez. Second and third, nobody out.
Well, the drop down pitch right there, not a favorite of Dave Roberts when Hill does that. You can understand him doing that maybe against a left-hander, but against a right-hander, he's going to see that a lot better, and McCann easily gets into third. Now you can wiggle your way out of this by getting Reddick, and then of course the pitcher's on deck. So this is the key to the inning.
Ball outside. Ball outside to Reddick. First base open. Verlander next, as the Astros look for some breathing room for Verlander here in the fifth.
For Hill, he knows he's got to think strikeout against Reddick.
Ball. 2-0. Hill struck out 7 through 4 innings in game 2. He has struck out 3 through 4+ here tonight. Reddick, the former Dodger, takes outside 3-0.
So even though the count's 3-0 and there's a base open, you've got Verlander on deck with the bases loaded. You don't give in to the count, meaning you don't lay one in there thinking he's taken.
Hard. 3 balls and a strike.
Threw that to the corner.
Brandon Morrow getting loose for the Dodgers in their pen. Here's the 3-1 to Reddick. Down the line, slicing. Out of play. Full count.
That would have been a tough decision, I would think, for Peterson if that was catchable and what to do.
Well, he's got McCann running. He's the guy at third. So no guarantee even on a fly ball out that the run scores. 3-2 pitch. Struck him out, 1 away. And a big one for Rich Hill.
Well, that was huge. That was the sweeping angled curveball against the left-hander. Watch how much he gets spinning the ball that almost starts at him and sweeps out of the zone. And a big strikeout. The infield's going to be in for sure now. Trying to read whether there's a safety squeeze with McCann at third.
I'm good.
I'm actually surprised that Bellinger is not further in. I know McCann doesn't have the great foot speed, but what you read as a third base runner, if Verlander's able to bunt and push it past the pitcher to right towards first base, it's really hard to make the play at home.
The 0-1 to Verlander. Strike 2. 0-2 pitch. Andy Pettitte is the last American League pitcher to get an RBI in a World Series game. He did that back in 2009 when the Yankees beat Philadelphia.
Phew. Thought you were going to give us another bad one.
Second and third, one out. Hill to Verlander. Struck him out. 2 out.
Outstanding job.
It'll bring in George Springer, who has hit 4 home runs. In essence, the winner in game 2. And then he's gone deep. With a couple shots to right here in these games at Dodger Stadium after hitting 2 back in Houston, and an intentional walk to Springer. That's how hot he is right now. The inning belongs to Bregman, who is on the short list right now for potential MVP if the Astros win it.
Well, you know he loves this, and Dave Roberts is going to come out, and Rich Hill may not love this. Is it a conversation or is it a move?
It's a move. "58 pitches tonight." You hear the displeasure from the crowd here at Dodger Stadium. Hill, 2 fewer pitches tonight than in game 2. Morrow comes in. Bregman coming up with a bases loaded, 2 out. You look at the batters faced by Rich Hill this postseason in the games that he started. To say that he's frustrated doesn't even begin to tell the story for Rich Hill. You see tonight 19 batters faced, just 58 pitches, but he leaves with the bases loaded, 2 out. You got strikeouts of Reddick and Verlander, the intentional walk to Springer, and Morrow will deal with Bregman. 98, back to the upper 90s fastball for Brandon Morrow, who got knocked around in the 7th inning in game 5. He faced 4, went homer, single, double, 2-run home run, and Bregman had a single in that stretch.
Well, the day off certainly going to help Morrow, and that's what Dave Roberts is hoping in this situation.
Bregman, big at bat for the Astros. To the shortstop. Seager, inning over. Hill cheering in the dugout as Brandon Morrow gets out of that. Second and third, nobody out, and the Astros do not score. Tonight's telecast is sponsored by YouTube TV. Cable-free live TV is here. And by New York Life. With the right guidance, everyone can be good at life. A lot above the fifth inning rolls in. How about Saturday, a full day of great college football on Fox and FS1 with Penn State taking on Michigan State. 11 o'clock is the pregame Fox coverage, and then it's Bedlam as Oklahoma and Oklahoma State go at it on FS1 at 4 Eastern, followed by Minnesota and Michigan. Big day of college football as Puig hits it high in the air to right. Reddick back to get it in front of the track. 1 pitch, 1 out. And more ho-hum from Justin Verlander, who has had the ability this postseason to make it look easy.
And he has. You see the numbers right there. 7 Ks, no walks. Command's been impeccable, and his ability to stay out of high-stress innings has really been the case as well. And the Dodgers just avoided their first scare of the game. Bases loaded. Second and third, nobody out. And they got out of a huge jam to keep it at 1-0.
Now Jock Peterson. Pitch number 60 on the night.
Inside.
He's just done a great job, not only going strike one, but staying out of the heart of the plate. He's been in, up, out, and nothing really to give the rhythm of the Dodgers something to see or hit or square up.
It's down. Puig took that first pitch into right. Took his time getting back to the dugout, and then went right over and is standing next to Turner Ward, his hitting coach. Two-0 to Peterson. Got under it. A mile high, shallow left, tough play. Gonzalez has it. 2 out. Tom Verducci, that fastball is cooking for Verlander again.
Yeah, a matchup the Astros like coming into this series. Verlander's high fastball against the lineup that likes to hit the ball in the air with high launch angles. You see these fastballs, they are underneath, either fouling them straight back, getting under it, or missing them completely. Now, Verlander's got a great fastball, no doubt. It's even better in the postseason. His velocity and his spin rate have gone up. Now, why is spin rate important? Well, a four-seam fastball has true backspin on it. The faster it spins, the more it fools the hitter. It doesn't drop as much as a hitter thinks. And that's why you're seeing the Dodgers get underneath the baseball. They've hit one ball on the ground in this game.
2 out, nobody on. Logan Forsythe took a strike. Now Kenta Maeda gets loose. Morrow got out of the jam in the top of this 5th. 2 out, nobody on. Outside again. It's 2-1.
Forsythe has become the choice for Dave Roberts. Likes his at-bats of late. Defense has been excellent. No Chase Utley. Forsythe in there hoping to make something happen.
Forsythe likes his at-bats lately. As he fouls it away, he said, I did not have a good year, but by the end of the season, I started to figure it out. And in this World Series now, 4 for 14 after he flied to right his first time up tonight.
You know, it's amazing asking the managers what you find out about players and how does that affect moving forward. Where's their heartbeat? Does the game speed up? Do they allow it to slow down? All these things are going to be factored in as this series ends and moves towards the next year.
Right now, a quick word from T-Mobile.
For every home run during the World Series, T-Mobile will donate $20,000 to hurricane recovery.
Here's a 2-2 from Verlander and a grounder foul outside third. Yeah, I mean, this is the ultimate evaluation for these players, young and old, and A.J. Hinch knows a lot more about his team now than he did a month ago.
Absolutely, and you learn by doing it, because we already told you that only 3 of the players between these 2 rosters have been in a World Series before.
Ball.
Great take. Great pitch.
Struck him out, and that's 8 on the night. Got the 3 balls on the hitter for the first time tonight, and then blew it right by the bat of Forsythe. Let's go to the 6th inning, game 6. Still 1-0 Houston.
Nothing like the postseason.
We welcome you back to the World Series presented by YouTube TV as we highlight George Springer and realize that he has homered. You see in the top line of our Budweiser game summary, 1-0 Astros on top for the third straight game. And all of his home runs in this World Series have tied the game or put Houston on top. Verlander is the second note, and then Rich Hill, who got into the fifth, started trouble, started to get out of trouble, and then gave way to Brandon Morrow, who's back to work to Altuve, leading it off here in the sixth inning in a one-run game.
Well, Dodgers couldn't ask for more other than the lead because they knew they were going up against the hottest pitcher on the Astros. Verlander hasn't disappointed.
Tony Watson getting loose as Altuve fouls it back, strike two. Jose Altuve hit an RBI double and scored on a two-run shot against Brandon Morrow in the seventh inning of Game 5.
But AJ would like a few more runs to give him breathing room to make a decision that could ultimately change the way this series goes based on finishing the game if Verlander doesn't go 9.
0-2. Altuve spoiled it. 23 of the 26 Astros home runs this postseason have been hit by homegrown players. Altuve with 7, Correa 5, Bregman with 4, Springer with 5, Gurriel 2. They don't scout well and look for talent and find guys who can hit. Everything's been pointed toward 2017. Even Sports Illustrated 3 years ago picked the Astros to be the World Series champs in 2017, and they're one win away from fulfilling that prophecy. George Springer, who was homered tonight, was the guy on the cover. Here's the 0-2. Ball no. Up and in. Checked his swing. Ball 1.
Well, what they're hoping to do is reward the patience for a lot of fans who had to endure a lot of losing. And speaking of which, Altuve had to have a lot of that losing.
June 30th, 2014 issue of SI. Your 2017 World Series champions. Ben Reeder wrote it. Will he be right? That's the third. Turner. Nice pickup. He's been busy over there. 1 out. You see the longest active MLB championship droughts. You've got the Indians, who haven't won since '48, coming so close last year. Texas Rangers haven't. The Houston Astros haven't. They came in '62 as the Colt 45s. They got to the World Series in 2005 representing the National League, and they were swept by the White Sox. Here they are as the AL champs, and here's Correa. Strike 1. To play. How about these 3 games here at Dodger Stadium? Game 1 was 1-1 after 5. Game 2 was 1-1 after 5. It ended 7-6, by the way, in 11 innings. And here tonight in Game 6, 1-0 Houston after 5. Ball 1.
These fans here, much like those games, waiting to explode with one swing of the bat by the Dodgers offense, who delivered in the 6th.
Struck him out, 2 out. Morrow getting big outs here in the middle innings.
Power breaking ball right over the zone after high fastballs. Morrow's success has been throwing the fastball up towards the belt. Hard to get on top of his fastball, and then he's got that power breaking ball to work off of that fastball.
Yuli Gurriel. Another good one. This time a called strike. 0-1 on Yuli Gurriel, the 33-year-old rookie from Cuba. The 0-1. That's into center, base hit. And Gurriel is aboard, 1 for 3 on the night. And with Brian McCann coming up, we'll see if Tony Watson's coming in. And we'll have a double switch. Utley's coming in. Forsythe is going out. Utley will bat 9th, meaning he'll hit 2nd in the bottom of this 6th inning. The pitcher will hit in the 7th spot. And the lefty is coming in with 1 on, 2 out in the 6th. Millions of viewers are all about the Orville, the adventure series starring Seth MacFarlane. It's being called imaginative, hilarious, and darn fun to watch. Thursday, prepare for its most dangerous adventure yet, the Orville. All new. After Gotham on Fox. Tony Watson into the ball game, and his first pitch drops in for a strike to Brian McCann. Chase Utley in the game at second. Logan Forsythe finished for game 6. Utley will bat 9th. He'll hit 2nd in the bottom of the inning, and a check on the runner Yuli Gurriel.
Double switch, National League. Utley will lead off, as you said, and Dave Roberts will have a few more pitchers to finish this game.
The 0-1. Got him! Hits McCann. And the hit by pitch puts runners at first and second with 2 out. And we'll bring in Marwin Gonzalez, who doubled down the left field line his last time up.
Definitely not what Watson wanted. He came in to get McCann out. And Now he's going to have to face the right-handed version of Gonzalez, and McCann's caught a lot in this postseason and been hit a lot, not just by pitches at the plate, but while he's been catching as well.
We'll keep an eye on Kershaw down there, not taking the jacket off yet, but action will start for the Dodgers in their pen. Big at bat. First and second, 2 out. Opportunity for Houston and Marwin Gonzalez, who broke that streak of 0 for 11 with that double. Second and third, nobody out last inning, and the Astros did not score. Lead runner is Gurriel, scooped up by Barnes. Ball 1. Brian McCann, by the way, was hit with 2 out and nobody on by Kenley Jansen in the 10th inning in Game 5. Got to second, was lifted for a pinch runner, and that man Fisher scored the winning run. Hit here in the 6th. A 1-0. Fooled Gonzalez, strike 1.
One thing to watch. I don't know if the Dodgers will do it, but Gurriel is getting a huge lead once the pitcher's going to home, anticipating contact with 2 outs. And they could throw a back pick. Utley is playing a little bit up the middle, but as Gurriel gets his initial lead, once Watson goes home, he's really taking an aggressive secondary lead.
Ball inside. 2-1 now on Gonzalez. What hangs over what's happening here for the Dodgers is who's on the mound for Houston. It's a 1-0 game, and any more runs for that guy, good luck. That's what Gonzalez is trying to provide, and he steps out.
Yeah, the only way that Justin Verlander comes up in this inning is that means the team has scored at least 1 run.
A 2-out hit by Gurriel, then McCann hit by a pitch after the pitching change. 2-1. 3 balls and a strike with the left-handed hitting Reddick on deck.
Fastball might have been a strike, but wasn't caught. Wasn't presented as a strike.
Watching one of the in-season pickups by the Dodgers front office to bolster this bullpen. Gonzalez trying to beat him with something here on 3-1. Line drive caught by Utley. Had him played shaded up the middle, and that worked out for the Dodgers. A loud final out in the top of the 6th. Bottom of the 6th inning rolls in. Barnes, Utley, Taylor coming up. Still 1-0 Houston. Well, the only run still the George Springer home run. Opportunity for the Astros the last 2 innings. They left 3 in the 5th, 2 in the 6th. They've stranded 6 on the night. There's Tony Watson. Gave up the line drive to Marwin Gonzalez, caught by Utley. As the batter is Austin Barnes. 1-0 Houston. 1-0 pitch from Verlander. Whoa! 2-0.
Well, the 6th inning was magic for the Dodgers in games 1 and 2. They're hoping somehow they can get some magic here in the bottom of the 6th in game 6.
That's into left, a base hit. And only the second base runner of the night for the Dodgers. They put their leadoff man on for the first time.
Pretty good hitting, pitch down the middle, and action for this large crowd. And I'll tell you, we talked about it early. The guy that's the most uncomfortable, I would think, right now is the uncertainty of the role of maybe Lance McCullers. Typically, when you're preparing for a game 7, when your team's up 3 games to 2, that's one thing. But if you're preparing for a different role when your team is up in the game, maybe even closing it out, that's a different thing. You can see him in the bullpen as we speak.
Yeah, we had a chance to talk to Lance McCullers Jr. and he said he really didn't know how to approach tonight. He doesn't know any more than we know how this game's going to unfold and if he will come in and try and close it, get big outs late, or if there'll be a game 7 and he'll be left to start it. Utley's first at bat, you saw the stat, 0 for his last 29 in the postseason, but a guy with 7 World Series home runs from his days with the Phillies. And out to talk is Brian McCann with Verlander, 1 on, nobody out, and now a quick word from Duracell.
Duracell is the #1 trusted brand.
And the uniqueness as a starting pitcher is you have structure that you're used to, right? And this is outside the structure. Now he's done it. He's pitched out of the pen already in the postseason.
Now McCann requests time. To Chase Utley.
You watch how late Chase Utley gets in position to hit. He'll have that bat kind of geared up at the last second to get it hinged and hoping to get something middle in that he can pull between the first baseman and second baseman. One of the quickest bats forever in the game. It's slowed down a little bit, but as you said, trying to break a big over spot.
Fouled back, 1 ball, 1 strike.
If Justin gets to 2 strikes, he can utilize that down and in spot below towards his feet with a breaking ball.
Justin Verlander has been outspoken about how the baseballs are different in the postseason, in this World Series in particular, and he's thrown a few away here in the 6th inning, checking for a new baseball.
Yeah, that's what you do. He had baseballs in his hand for a long time. He knows what he likes, and he knows the ones he doesn't.
Foul.
So there's that inside pitch. That's about pulled as far as you can in the upper deck. And see if both he and McCann try to exploit down and in with a breaking ball after especially fouling a fastball right there. Chase really getting the head out early on that one.
Utley traded to the Dodgers back in 2015. They like his experience, his leadership. The 38-year-old is hit by the pitch to put runners on at first and second with nobody out.
Really tried to bury this one, and it bounced and hit him.
And I don't think getting hit by the pitch breaks Utley's heart at all.
Now an interesting call here for Dave Roberts. Taylor's up, first and second, nobody out. Doesn't like to bunt a lot on the year, but with first and second, that's more of a buntable situation, if you will. And AJ's going to go out and talk to his whole team on what kind of approach, if he does bunt, what kind of play do they want to put on.
George Lombard, the first base coach, comes all the way down and around to talk to Chris Woodward, the third base coach. Chris Taylor has been a master at handling the bat this postseason.
I know a lot of people don't like it, but I think in this situation you really have to make more stress on Verlander and somehow try to get the runners on second and third and pass the baton on to Seager and Turner.
96 miles an hour, and that was no bunt. That was swinging out of his shoes. Strike one.
And maybe the call there might be give you one and maybe change the strategy after you've had your pitch to hit. I don't see any different signs given by Chris Woodward.
Lead runner is Barnes. He can run at second base. Trailer is Utley.
And see, I think the theory and what I've always, yes, when you bunt, you take away bigger innings, like a 3-run spot or a 4-run spot. But how many times are you going to get that off of Verlander? I think you have to be able to get one first. You've got to tie it up. And the pressure of second and third, one out on Verlander is greater. He's a slider away, a pulled ground ball to short for a double play possibility.
The good news for Roberts and the Dodgers is Taylor can fly, and he's tough to double. Late swing and a miss, and a nasty pitch down and away. Strike two.
So the last two sliders by Verlander are one of his firmer ones. 90 miles an hour right there. That one truly more like the cutter version.
Taylor waits and hits it into right. Here comes Barnes. He'll score. Going to third, Utley. Game tied, 1-1.
That was not the intended way he went to go, but he'll take it, and so will the Dodgers. He put the barrel of the bat somehow on the ball and got rewarded with an opposite field hit.
Vin loves it.
He loves it.
That's got Vin Scully smiling, and these fans that are packed into Dodger Stadium, the ones wearing blue. Boy, can he handle the bat. Now out of the windup, Seager. Not only did he tie the game with a double, but Utley went first to third. And with this, the Astros have to bring the infield in. Nobody out here in the sixth.
Well, the tough part with this out of the windup is a walking lead by Utley, even with the infield in.
96 from Verlander, 1 ball, 1 strike.
You can tell that Verlander more comfortable out of the windup, but when you have the infield in and runners on second and third, you typically pitch out of the stretch.
23-year-old shortstop, the reigning Rookie of the Year, Corey Seager, fouls it back, strike 2. Slapping at his bat. He'd like to have it back.
Higher fastball, easier to put in the air, but when it's 96, late movement. Higher than high, lower than low right here for Verlander if you're thinking along the line of striking him out.
He has struck out 8. Pop backing out of play. Austin Barnes, the number 8 hitter, started this frame with a base hit to left. Chase Utley was hit by a pitch for the 207th time in his career. The most among active players, and then the RBI double by Taylor.
And it's the 6th. Does the alarm clock go off in the 6th at home for the Dodgers?
As you said, a magical inning for LA here at home in this World Series. A 1-2. Seager hits it into right. Back at the wall. It is caught up against. Tagging and scoring is Utley, and the Dodgers have their first Game 6 lead. 2-1 on a sac fly by Corey Seager.
What a difference a night makes. This ball 3 days ago, 4 days ago would have been way out. The slider doesn't have the tight break to it. And Seager, when he first hit it, had to feel like this was a 3-run homer. But an RBI nonetheless.
Reddick went about as far as he could. And with his heavy air, it died. Now the infield still in, runner at third, 1 out. Turner, strike 1. Here's the other side of it for Houston. Now they're trailing. And on top of that, Verlander's spot is due up second in the 7th inning.
That is the nightmare scenario for A.J. Hinch, especially when you think about how important he is on the mound.
And how many question marks are out in that bullpen. Here's the 0-1. Strike 2, and Verlander needs the strikeout here. 0-2. Turner really struggling. 0 for 2 tonight. 3 for 22. But his only RBIs coming on that Game 1 6th inning 2-run shot off Keuchel. The 0-2.
The reason he's trying to stay firm with the slider and not throwing the curveball, that's something that Turner can stay on. Has a lot of ability to put a curveball, slower pitch in play, while respecting the fastball he has to protect on that hard slider off the plate.
Turner pops it up on the infield, first base side, foul ground for Gurriel. 2 out. And now Bellinger will be the hitter with 2 down, and the Dodgers up 1.
Well, the tough decision will be made very difficult for AJ if Justin gets out of this with just 1 run down. I think if Bellinger were to get a hit, it's an easy decision. They're going to pinch hit for Verlander with only 9 outs left.
See the problems that A.J. Hinch has been dealing with in this series in his bullpen. He's got his best on the mound. Dodgers have put up 2, runner at third, 2 out. Bellinger, ball 1. Obviously, there's room to put Bellinger on with a right-handed hitting Puig on deck. So this is really dealer's choice for Verlander, who he wants to face.
Bellinger's learning a lot right here on a veteran pitcher that can hit his spots 3 times versus maybe some regular season games where the pitchers out there don't get to the weak spots of Bellinger consistently enough, and he has had the better of it with the amount of home runs and success in the regular season.
Swing looks like it's been getting bigger again for Bellinger. He waits for the 1-1. Foul back, strike 2. And the brilliance of Verlander has always been a premier power arm with the touch and control of a finesse pitcher.
Absolutely. And that's why he's as complete as he comes. That's the same thing with Kershaw. That's why he's the best in the National League. If you have a weakness as a hitter, these 2 guys are going to get there regularly.
Bellinger has struck out each of his first 2 at bats. Runner at third, 2 down. Struck him out, and Verlander limits the damage. Gets a foul out, then a strikeout with the Dodgers. On to the scoreboard. Chris Taylor, the biggest part of it. The RBI double. 2-1 Dodgers after 6. Back after this from your local Fox station. Josh Reddick looks at a strike from Tony Watson underway in the 7th inning. On deck is Evan Gattis. And it looks like Verlander is finished after going 6. Here's the 0-1. 1-1. Down and in from Watson, who came on to hit a batter. McCann last inning, and then with 2 on 2 out. Got Marwin Gonzalez to line out to end the threat.
That's a huge get out of the jam by Verlander.
The 1-1. Ball 2.
Same scenario, really, when you think about what the Dodgers were able to prevent. Justin did everything you can do to keep him in this ball game in a position to win. And he technically is still in a position to be the winner if the Astros rally here.
Here comes a 2-1. Up and in, 3-1. Kenta Maeda getting loose.
Now, the one thing that would be interesting, if Reddick were to hit a home run, would that change the way AJ feels?
Here comes a 3-1 pitch. That's ball 4, a leadoff walk. And the tying run is on with Evan Gattis coming up. And we'll see if Maeda's coming in. Gattis is officially in the ball game.
Pitch hitter number 11, Evan Gattis.
And here comes Maeda. 7th inning action in game 6. Dodgers lead 2-1. Home runs now mean even more in the World Series, with T-Mobile donating $20,000 for every one hit, benefiting hurricane recovery efforts. And now we need the fans to do their part. Tweet or retweet hashtag HR4HR, and T-Mobile will donate another $2 every single time. While we have a moment as Maeda warms up, official caps, t-shirts, hoodies, jerseys, jackets, and more. Get all your Astros and Dodgers World Series gear and celebrate your favorite team at MLBshop.com. Well, Kenta Maeda worked extremely well in relief of Yu Darvish in Game 3 through 42 pitches on Friday night in Houston. 2 nights later was ineffective in game number 5. That's 2 nights ago. Ended up going just 2/3 of an inning, allowing the home run along the way to Jose Altuve. And he enters here on Tuesday night, game 6, with the tying run at first, nobody out, and Evan Gattis, the pinch hitter for Verlander. Blocked by Barnes, and a good job to save a wild pitch.
And you'll know, based on the freshness and the effectiveness, is going to be on his slider. He starts off Gattis with a curveball. This curveball is protected by Barnes about as well as you can. The slider was flatter, and understandably so, because he's fatigued and usage. The day off helps everybody.
Went into the bullpen down the stretch. Prior to Game 5 has been so dependable for Dave Roberts. But he falls behind here 2-0.
And that was a good slider. Didn't get Gaddis to bite. Gaddis gets in that crouch, but he's vulnerable to the fastball up. He wants the ball down. He's strong as you can imagine. No batting gloves. And he's looking to elevate something from the knees to a gap somewhere.
As one home run this postseason takes a strike. Hit 12 during the regular year. One of 3 catchers and a DH type on this active roster for A.J. Hinch, as Maeda gets the benefit of the doubt on that pitch.
Yeah, he got rewarded on a pitch that was a pretty good pitch if they set up out there, but the pitch was supposed to be inside. Usually when the catcher reaches, you might get mixed results on the call.
Utley came in to slow things down. That pitch was called strike 1 instead of ball 3. Gaddis off the bench for Verlander. Strike 2.
That was a tight, effective slider that started in the middle of the plate and ended up in the lower part of the strike zone. This is when you know Maeda feels good and fresher than what he was in Houston.
Left side, Seager out at second and safe at first. Nearly turned it, but Gaddis beat the relay.
And Dave Roberts is going to wait to see if the slide into the bag. You got a new rule at second base. See what Reddick does here in this high chopper. Seager gets it over. Watch the slide and then the contact with Utley.
So there's 2 pieces of this they can look at. What happened at second, definitely safe is Gaddis. And we'll see what Dave Roberts and the Dodgers want to do. And clearly safe was Gaddis, but Roberts could have them. Look at this.
If you slide straight to the bag and don't do anything to alter, it's the arm right there that they may want to look at. I don't think he intentionally took his arm in a way to affect the legs of Utley, but that's the rule. You have to make sure.
You could see Dave Roberts say check the slide. And the replay review is sponsored by WB Mason.
What you can't do, watch the arms that come up. You can't directly do anything to affect what Utley's ability to turn to. That's why you have to slide straight into the bag. And it might look worse than it actually is based on the way Utley was turning the throw, because I don't think that contact caused that flip.
And they agree. There is no interference out at second base. Would have been funny if the Dodgers were to benefit from the Chase Utley rule.
Yeah, that's
when it was Utley who was just upended, as opposed to his slide against the Mets back in 2015.
Exactly right.
Now Springer. 1 on, 1 out. Springer has had some kind of World Series. He's homered tonight, the only Astro run of the evening, been intentionally walked. Now deals with Maeda. Strike 1 at the knees.
Information, decisions, strategy rolling through Dave Roberts' head now. I would think he wants to get through this inning, and then he might just turn to Jansen. for 6 outs after this.
The 0-1 down. The Astros are 9-0 in Verlander's starts, and they won Game 4 of the division series when he got the victory coming out of the bullpen at Fenway. They trail here 2-1, top of the 7th, 1 on, 1 out. Left side, diving try. Gaddis will hold at second on another hit by Springer. And it's first and second, 1 out, with Bregman coming up.
Great effort, but wasn't able to corral it. Don't know what play he would have been able to make.
And now we're going to get a pinch runner as Derek Fisher will come off the bench and run for Evan Gaddis. This player resume is sponsored by Indeed.com. Indeed, the world's #1 job site. Look at what Alex Bregman has done. 3rd player with RBIs in his first 5 World Series games ever. 2 go-ahead RBIs. 1 was a game winner. He has hit home runs in this World Series off Kershaw and Jansen. And his average 280, 2 homers, 5 RBIs. And he bats with 2 on and 1 out.
Maeda better get him to hit something away. Sliders away. Fastball out over the middle of the plate. Not a good recipe.
Another stop by Austin Barnes. He's made 2 beauties in this 7th inning.
And you can see they want to jam Bregman, and he pulls this fastball, and like you said, an unbelievable stop. But if he doesn't get that fastball inside enough, Bregman likes that part of the plate.
Alex Wood, a left-hander, getting loose for the Dodgers in their pen. Here's a 1-0. High fly ball to center for Taylor. Fisher tags at second. He will go to third. 2-0. And who would the Astros rather have up than the guy about to walk to the plate, Jose Altuve? Likely the MVP in the American League. The batting champion hit .346. He started the night hitting .344 this postseason, and he has popped 7 home runs.
And he will be ready to swing from the moment he steps in the batter's box.
A meeting on the mound with every infielder and Austin Barnes as Maeda gets last-minute instructions with Altuve. If the Dodgers win, we will be here tomorrow night. If the Astros win, they will celebrate their first World Series championship in their 56th year of franchise history. Fisher can really run at third. We've seen a couple of pitches bounce in from Maeda. Tying run at third, runner at first. Strike 1 on Altuve.
He just loves the first pitch, as does Seager. Fisher's job is to be as aggressive as he can to read anything in the dirt. As I would anticipate some sliders coming up from Maeda. Then Springer's job on anything hit rather slowly is to beat the tag or the force at second, because Altuve can run.
The 0-1. Ball. Just inside. Ball 1. The inning started with a walk to Josh Reddick. Then the pitching change. Gaddis bounced into a force out at second. A base hit by Springer. Bregman fly to center. Tying run at third. Maeda to Altuve. Strike 2.
Pitching him backwards here. Fastball's in. 94.
Altuve trying to tie it. 1-2. Left side, tough play. Turner got him at first to end the inning. Strong play on both ends. Turner with Bellinger digging it out. Out is the call. The Astros are waiting to see if they want a challenge. No need. What a play by Bellinger. And what a pickup by Turner on the front end. That keeps the Dodgers in front. Time to stretch. Game 6. Dodgers lead by 1.
California dreaming.
Game, bottom of the 7th inning. Dodgers lead by 1 because of this play and the ball hit by Altuve.
Well, the chopper and the speed, but he gets rid of it right away, this Turner. Great throw, and it's been a great series. It's a great game, and there's 6 outs for the Dodgers to try to force a Game 7.
Well, we'll welcome you inside our broadcast booth. Verlander is finished for the night. Maybe that helmet is as well. The frustration for Altuve. We'll welcome you inside the broadcast booth. I'm Joe Buck. That's the Hall of Famer, John Smoltz. And man, I mean, Verlander, more great stuff. Another strong start, but He and the Astros trail by 1.
Yeah, this reminds me a little bit of last year's World Series, where the closer, this time at home for the Dodgers, is going to look to get 6 outs to extend this to a 7th game. And for the Astros, they want to keep it right there. Musgrove's going to be asked to do that, as one swing of the bat at this point is the difference.
The guy right in the middle of it for the Dodgers offensively is Chris Taylor. Had runners on at first and second, nobody out. Hit the RBI double. Set up the sac fly opportunity for Seager. He delivered with a drive to the wall and right. 2-1 then, 2-1 now. Joe Musgrove into the game. Yasiel Puig at the plate. Oh! And that rides up and in, ball 1.
Good arm, as you can see. Velocity, big guy on the mound. Slider, curveball. And all he cares about is 1 out at a time. Getting the leadoff batter. Puig.
Skies it on the infield. Handled by Correa, 1 out. Puig 1 for 3. 4 for 24 in this World Series. And Jock Peterson will be the hitter. Jock hit a 3-run home run off Musgrove in a 5-run 9th inning in Game 4. So their rematch about to happen. Scott's pitch, hit, and run is Major League Baseball's free skills competition. Boys and girls ages 7 to 14. Sign up now to host a free competition in your local community at pitchhitrun.com.
Didn't have that at my age. Had punt pats and kick, though.
I was going to say that.
It's a bad experience. I shouldn't have brought it up.
You didn't do well on that?
1/100th of an inch got eliminated.
Heartbreaking. Peterson waits and takes a ball.
0-1.
Jock 0 for 2 tonight against Verlander. Strikeout, a fly out. Musgrove trying to keep it right here, with Kenley Jansen getting loose for the Dodgers in their bullpen.
And the reason it's still a ton of stress, obviously, on the Dodgers, they want to be able to get 6 outs, right? They want to add on. They got to get to Game 7. So with Jansen, they're going to use him to the full extent to make sure that there is an opportunity, because you never know what Game 7 is going to be. So you completely understand where Dave Roberts is thinking about the 1-run lead he's trying to protect, at least at this point.
Strike 2 on Peterson.
Whereas AJ now can maybe sit back and obviously keep his Game 7 starter not totally out of the woods yet, but more in line to start Game 7 than he is to come in, unless there is that rally off of Jansen in the 8th or the 9th.
That would be Lance McCullers Jr. One in the hood. 1-2. Peterson hits it in the air to left. Back at the wall. It's gone. Peterson with his 3rd of the World Series. And he's made it 3-1 Dodgers in the 7th.
Say he's fired up.
Yeah. Here comes Brent Strom. So Peterson took Musgrove deep for a 3-run shot in Game 4. And he goes opposite field here. This ball carried a mile.
Impressive. Just watching Gonzalez and reacting the way he did. And Peterson has been unreal for the Dodgers this World Series. Another opposite field homer And a young lady who's disappointed in the guy with the glove.
Wow. Make a catch.
Come on.
It's a 3-1 game, and then I don't know, you get the sense Jock Peterson had a bet with somebody on his team in that dugout that he was going to go deep, because his way down the third baseline was with that pay me motion to somebody on his bench. Here's Ethier batting for Maeda. Those in the dugout are saying Justin Turner was the guy who was on the receiving end of that pay me.
Well, I know this. This crowd equally to the task for noise as Houston was in a confined stadium. Obviously, roof closed.
This place, twice now, this booth has been shaking when something big has happened here for the Dodgers in this ballpark. It's been their home since 1962. Ethier 1 for 3 in this World Series, and the count even 1-1. Tom Verducci, give us more on the home run.
You're seeing a different hitter, guys. This guy hit no home runs during the regular season to the opposite field. 2 now. Before he came up to the plate, he had a conference with the hitting coach, Turner Ward, just going over what Musgrove throws, refreshing. You know, Ward's done a great job with him, getting into a deeper stance, flexing his knees.
Here's a little flare into left. Mic drop. It is caught. Nice running grab by Marwin Gonzalez. 2 out.
And I know that Dave Roberts talked to us before the game about what a better hitter Jock Peterson has been in the postseason. A better approach, the mechanical adjustments, controlling the strike zone, and now using the opposite field with power.
There's Turner Ward, the hitting coach. I don't know if we'll ever get a chance to show the Turner Ward video from his days back with the Pittsburgh Pirates. But if we ever get a chance, it's
impressive.
It's must-see television. The batter now is Austin Barnes, who started the 2-run rally last inning with a hit to left off Verlander. Pete Macheska, our producer. Matt Gangle, our director. Now feel forced to get that video in the game. Here's the 0-1. Here it comes, May 3rd, 1998 at Three Rivers Stadium in Pittsburgh. Piazza hits it. Turner Ward in right. Now the hitting coach for the Dodgers. Bang, through the wall.
Watch the throw back if we follow it all the way through. Is it a baseball or is it a grenade? Oh, man, you know that hurt.
Down and away, 1-2. First of all, he hit the concrete floor beyond the wall. He had minor cuts from fiberglass shards. Came out of the game. But there's more to that story. And it was against the Dodgers of all teams, as you saw Piazza hit it. That's strike 3. Dodger player Trinidad Hubbard went through the left field wall earlier that day during batting practice. He was unhurt. This ball was hurt. Hit the other way by Jock Peterson. And then the celebration for Jock was on. Pay me, baby. 8th inning of Game 6, 3-1 LA.
Lift me up.
Well, Jock Peterson stretching out after either the home run or the celebration. He's a hero welcomed back to left field. He's made it 3-1 Dodgers. Kenley Jansen takes over. I'll show you who's at second after the pitch. Strike one. Charlie Culberson takes over at second base. And you see that Kenley Jansen has one career 6-out save. He tried to pick one up here in game 2. There's Culberson, takes over for Utley. 0-1. High fly ball, should be handled by Peterson. His heart racing. Kenley Jansen has been anything but automatic in this World Series. He's had a lot of work. Game 2, an 0-2 pitch. Marwin Gonzalez tied it with an opposite field shot. Game 4, not a save situation. Bregman took him out. And then Bregman in game 5. In the bottom of the 10th inning, Fisher came home to score. And with this, the Astros took a 3-2 lead.
Well, Jansen wants to do it with economy. He doesn't want to rack up a lot of pitches. He'd like to get quick outs. Get the ball down against this guy. Good high fastball hitter, Gurriel.
1 for 3 tonight.
So this will be a battle of the accumulative effect. It started in game 2 with tonight's starter coming out after 4. Bullpen got extended. In the middle of the series, the bullpen got a little bit exhausted.
Gurriel pops it up right side, might stay in play. It will. Bellinger 2 out. With the bases empty, the batter will be McCann. Fans, we now have a record-breaking 103 home runs this postseason, and over 600,000 tweets from you, which means T-Mobile will be donating over $2.4 million to Team Rubicon. Keep doing your part, though. Tweet or retweet hashtag HR4HR, and T-Mobile will donate another $2. McCann. With 2 out. Strike 1.
The good news for the Dodgers is everybody will be available tomorrow if they hold on to the 2-run lead, including Kershaw.
Oh, 1. Foul. That also would include Brandon Morrow, who could tie Darryl Knowles. The 73 A's is the only pitcher to pitch in all 7 games of a World Series. 2 out, nobody on, an 0-2 count. And Jansen's going to have to work for this save.
He was frustrated, threw 2 balls back rather quickly and firmly. Nice job by the ball boy.
McCann strikes out. Barnes finishes the putout. A quick and easy 8th for Kenley Jansen. They play Tupac here at Dodger Stadium. Dodgers up 2. Welcome back to the World Series, presented by YouTube TV. Beautiful shot from up above. Dodger Stadium in its 56th year, and Luke Gregerson takes over. 53,000 plus packed into this place. They played Tupac coming and going for Kenley Jansen, and he had a 7-pitch top of this 8th. Got 3 outs against the heart of the order for the Astros. 3-1 Dodgers. Charlie Culberson first up, and a strike from Gregerson. Culberson batting in the number 9 spot. Back to the top, and Chris Taylor and Corey Seager after. Good pitch from Gregerson, strike 2.
Everything Gregerson throws moves, sinkers and sliders.
Culberson has been a hitting revelation in the postseason for the Dodgers. He played a real good shortstop in the NLCS. He's got another. You hang one to Culberson, and he'll hang a line drive on it. He's hitting .500, 8 out of 16 in the postseason. 2 hits all year for the Dodgers. He's on to start the 8th, and now a quick word from T-Mobile.
Tweet hashtag HR for HR, and T-Mobile will donate $2 to hurricane recovery.
The biggest swing of the night belongs to the guy at the plate, Chris Taylor. And the Dodgers have seen one good at bat after another from this guy, and he's been all over the bases. Reached base 26 times this postseason. That's a record, and he has reached in all 14 postseason games.
Did a great job just starting off this World Series. First pitch he saw for a homer and put the Astros on the defensive that this guy's legit at the top of the lineup for the Dodgers.
He's taken over center field. Former infielder. Learned how to play the outfield this year.
Ball 1.
Ball 1 down. With 2 on and nobody out, the Astros were half expecting a bunt. They let Taylor swing away, and with 2 strikes and a 1-2 pitch from Justin Verlander, he doubled into right to tie the game. That's foul.
Yeah, sometimes in this game, whether you throw a great pitch and don't get a great result, hitting's about hitting it where they're not, and that's exactly what he did with that 2-strike swing and turned it into a double.
There's the iPad, top of the dugout bench, and by making iPad Pro available, MLB is working to help coaches and players reach new levels of team production and individual performance. Smoltz works his over before, during, and after games.
Yeah. But my fantasy football team's struggling, Joe.
Well, says the Lions fan. There's a 1-1.
Ball down.
Just missed. That's low. 2-1.
Well, somehow Gregerson's got to get a sinker below Taylor's ability to lift it, because that's what he's trying to do, along with a lot of the Dodgers in the lineup. And if he can get late movement, that's where he can get it chopped on the ground and possibly turn 2, even though Taylor can fly.
That is a heck of a pickup by Bregman, and the tag for the out. What a play by the second baseman for the Astros, who's been a defensive wizard this postseason. Taylor advances the runner. Down to second is Culberson, 1 out.
Well, there's the chopper he got, but an unbelievable play behind the bag for Bregman. That ball, you just don't make that play that routinely, and especially in the World Series. But we've seen great defense all postseason out of Bregman. Incredible throws to home and throws like that to first. Even though a little off balance, he was able to get it close enough to the bag so Gurriel can make a tag.
Batter now is Seager. Runner at second, 1 out. Francisco Liriano is ready in the bullpen for Houston, and he's just standing there like, what's it going to take? He has not appeared in this World Series. He's pitched in 3 postseason games for A.J. Hinch, picked up from Toronto in season.
Going to be Cody Bellinger, I would think.
Good pitch down and in on Seager, strike 1. Again, strike 2. Francisco Liriano and the catcher Juan Centeno are the only 2 Astros to not appear in this World Series. 1-2. Oh. And now if you're Lance McCullers Jr., and you've spent the night out in the bullpen, you have to believe that his mentality and his focus has changed entirely with an eye on a start tomorrow if there's a game 7 if the Astros fail to rally.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a weird day for him, and he'll be going to bed if there's a game 7 prepared.
Down and in again. Seager lays off, full count.
It's funny, when I've had the opportunity to pitch multiple game 7s. One I didn't want to pitch. We were up 2 of them actually. Glavine was able to win the game 1-0 in the World Series, but then pitching game 7s, preparation the night before, nothing like it. And he'll experience it in a way that forever changes how you view pitching. If he's forced to pitch a game 7, it's the best feeling in the world.
Yu Darvish is the scheduled starter for the Dodgers, but Keuchel will be available tomorrow if there's a game 7 for Houston. Kershaw will be available for the Dodgers if so. 3-2 to Seager. Struck him out. Good pitch. And a good job by Gregerson on those deliveries down and in.
Stayed stubborn in there. 3-2, and Seager couldn't stay off of it.
Let's give you a StatCast powered by Amazon Web Services. Jock Peterson and his shot in the 7th. Two opposite field home runs tonight. George Springer in the 3rd for Houston, their only run of the night, and Jock Peterson in the 7th to make it a 3-1 game.
I would think these first 2 pitches are going to determine how they're going to attack Turner. If they fall behind 2-0, I'd be more tempted to put him on base and face Bellinger, whether with Gregerson or Liriano.
0 for 3 on the night. Almost walked right into that pitch. Ball 1.
Even though you've kept him at bay, you just don't ever like the matchup with Turner at the plate.
1-0. In for a strike. See who's coming up against Jansen. Big run sitting out there for the Dodgers. Take a little bit of the edge off. Turner trying to provide it. Culberson at second. No! He checked his swing and the count 2-1. Talked about this being the third oldest stadium in Major League Baseball. Fenway, Wrigley, then Dodger Stadium. 56th year the Dodgers have called this stadium home. They've been to 9 World Series since they moved into Dodger Stadium, and it has never hosted a Game 7.
Good nugget there.
65 Sandy pitched, but it was in Bloomington. Runner at second, 2 out. 2-1 pitch. Just inside, 3-1. Sandy Koufax, by the way, won that Game 7 over our buddy Jim Cott of Minnesota. And there's such pitching royalty with the Dodgers in their franchise history. The great Don Drysdale, Sandy Koufax. Those great teams of the 60s. Saw Oral Hershiser here tonight before the game. Boy, shortstop Correa was out of position as Gregerson brought it home. It's low for ball 4.
Yeah, they had him picked, and I think that's going to be it. We'll go get Liriano, and that'll extend the delay for Jansen sitting on the bench, if nothing else.
And Liriano will make his Houston World Series debut. Gregerson allows a hit and a walk in this 8th inning. 2 on, 2 out. Bellinger coming up. Liriano coming in. Well, Sandy Koufax, who was in the stadium tonight, we showed you the definition of just grace, brilliance, excellence. Started that Game 7 in 1965 on 2 days rest after winning Game 5, where he had a 4-hit shutout. Game 7, a 3-hit shutout with 10 strikeouts in 1965.
That's pretty good.
Here's Bellinger. That grounder is foul outside first. So that's the LA Dodgers Game 7. They're hoping to force one for the first time here at Dodger Stadium tomorrow night. That'll happen with a win here tonight. Liriano now is charged with trying to keep this a 2-run game, which is right there for the Astros against Kenley Jansen, who's had a lot of work and has been sitting down now for a long time.
He has funky mechanics, sinkers, sliders. Liriano.
Strike 2 on Bellinger. And before this 8th inning is over, all of us at Fox Sports want to wish our very best to Joe Chavo, technical producer with the Yes Network, many networks during his great career, battling some health issues, and we're all thinking about him here in LA. That's outside for ball 1, 1-2. So get well, Joe. Bellinger trying to avoid another 4-strikeout game in this World Series.
So what do you think? If it holds up, do we see more star power in the crowd? More celebrities?
Tomorrow?
Yeah.
Probably. Great Dave Winfield. Jason Bateman and his buddy Hartwell right next to him.
I was in a movie with him.
You were?
Yeah, just didn't make the cut in the changeup.
Here's a 1-2.
Oh,
just outside. 2-2.
I didn't know it. It didn't make the cut till I actually watched the movie.
Larry King, Mary Hart, Bert Sugarman, her husband. They are fixtures at Dodger games. Runners on at first and second, 2 out, 2-2. Just got a piece.
McCann will go out. This may be another one of those situations where he tells him what he wants and doesn't give a sign. We've seen this a couple times. Runner at second has been out there a long time and looking in to try and see sequence, location, anything that he can help his teammate with, if he's able to do that. Let's see what McCann decides to do, if there's any signs given at all or just a pitch. Just a pitch.
On 2-2. Pretty good fight put up here by Cody Bellinger, who struck out 3 times against Verlander. Verlander 6 innings, 2 runs on 3 hits. Game 2, he allowed 3 runs on 2 hits. Tonight Verlander struck out 9, hit a batter, walked nobody. Jansen itching to get back out there. 2-2 pitch again to Bellinger. Full count.
Good take there on the inside sinker. McCann and Liriano. 3-2 runners going. I got to believe slider's got to be the call here.
Runners go. Struck him out. And Bellinger down on a knee. Has struck out 4 times tonight. We go to the 9th inning of Game 6. Last chance for the Astros to end it all tonight. Marwin Gonzalez first up. He took Kenley Jansen out leading off the 9th inning with 2 strikes to tie game 2. That fastball zips in there, strike 1.
Yeah, day off definitely helped everybody for the Dodgers. And the challenge for the Astros is they're going to have to get on via a hit. Jansen rarely walks anybody. So the first hittable pitch the Astros get, they're going to have to make something with it.
Good try, but he missed it. Strike 2. Hey, Kenny Rosenthal, tell us more on Kenley Jansen.
Well, Joe, before the game, a number of Dodgers were confident that if they won tonight, their first World Series title since 1988 would be almost fait accompli. Jansen said, we all know if we win today, we don't think they have a shot against us tomorrow. That's the confidence level we have right now.
I don't know about that.
Got to at least think that way.
Absolutely. If you're a Dodger, you think that way, and if you go over to the Astros side, they say, hey, all we have to do is win 1 game.
Yeah. This series was destined to be played with the tightness that it has been played throughout.
Puig said it would go 7. All the Astros need is a base runner to have a chance. On Halloween, it's been another good one. What has been a thrilling World Series with unexpected twists and turns. Jammed him, popped up Bellinger. 1 out. And 4 straight retired by Kenley Jansen. Now Josh Reddick. Carlos Beltran in the on-deck circle. He would hit for Liriano. Strike 1.
Such a difficult task if you're up there as a left-hander trying to pull the ball off of a cutter that's coming into you. That's the one you got to lay off of. That's the difficult part of facing Jansen, because any ball that you see coming up out of his hand up, you're so tempted to think that that's a good pitch. There's that command I was talking about.
One. Strike 2.
The high one that looks good but can't barrel it up. Magic's known about some game 7s and high pressure situation, hoping to see one tomorrow.
Beltran. A career .331 hitter during the postseason is Beltran. 13 career postseason home runs, 31 driven in. He's just trying to extend this game any way he can to get on in the ninth. 2 out. That's hooked into the corner. It's foul, and we're 1 strike away from a game 7.
Didn't know if it was possible to top last year, but this may do it. This could do it. Game 7s, anything can happen. 1 strike, as you mentioned. From seeing that story unfold.
And the Astros are 1 base runner away from bringing up the tying run. Last time we had back-to-back 7-game World Series was in 01-02. 01 Arizona over the Yankees. 02 Anaheim over the Giants. Home team won both. Series too good to end in 6. Dodgers force a game 7. They win it 3-1. Tony Watson gets the win. Hill was good in the start. And Justin Verlander gets the loss. His first in a Houston Astros uniform.
What a series.
Mary Hart celebrating Kenley Jansen's 5th save of the postseason. And the great Sandy Koufax appreciates what he's seeing here tonight. And Rich Hill, who pitched into the 5th, went 4 2/3, pitched well. And the Dodgers win it 3-1. Let's go down to Ken Rosenthal.
Thanks, Joe. Chris, your RBI double in the 6th tied the score. You were 0 for 2 in your first 2 at-bats against Verlander, down to 2 strikes in your 3rd. What was going through your mind?
Just shorten up and put a ball in play. You know, he's really tough. He's got that fastball up in the zone. The good slider. I was just trying to get the barrel on the ball and hope for something good. And, you know, it worked out for me. I hit it right down that line.
You've had a number of big hits this postseason. This place was insane tonight. It's insane right now. How are you able to stay so calm?
I don't know. I mean, I'm just focusing on the game, honestly. You know, it's we feed off the crowd for sure, especially at home. We feel we have a huge home field advantage, so we love it when the crowd gets loud. And yeah, you know, you just got to lock in and not try to do too much, not let it get the best of you, and just keep things simple.
Tomorrow night, you're playing for the World Series title. It's the first World Series Game 7 in Dodger Stadium history. What do you expect?
More of the same. You know, it's going to be a hard-fought game. Every one of these games has been a battle, and I expect the same tomorrow.
Chris, congratulations. Thanks.
Thanks, Ken.
Joe, back to you.
Ken, thank you. Final is 3-1. Watson gets his 2nd win of this World Series. Kenley Jansen gets his 1st save since Game 1. Same final then, 3-1. And Verlander gets his 1st loss as an Astro. The guys are getting ready for the postgame. Your thoughts?
Yu Darvish has got a chance to redeem himself, maybe even Clayton Kershaw in a Game 7. McCullers for the Astros.
We can't wait until tomorrow night, and we'll see if the 1st of November brings us a fitting ending to this incredible World Series. Until tomorrow, from us in the booth, we say so long. On the other side of the break, on Fox and FS1, Kevin Burkhardt, Alex, David, Keith, and Frank will have more post-game coverage. Stay tuned. 3-1. There'll be a Game 7.